Hello everyone, NoctemZero here, and today I want to talk about the really awesome additional DLC that they added with Injustice 2, Black Lightning, and Raiden. Now, essentially they're the same character in the game. Black Lightning's premier skin, but has the same movesets like Raiden, and I like how, if you notice, Black Lightning's lightning is a little bit more prominent than Raiden's in certain parts where, like when he does the Thunderfly or whatever. I'm just calling it the Superman. I remember that as calling it as a kid, and it just made sense. Anyway, so doing that particular attack, seeing Black Lightning getting carried by his lightning, and Raiden doesn't have it as prominently. Well, those are just little things. Gameplay is great. Raiden fights like a badass, like he does in Mortal Kombat X. Of course, you can't switch between the different skills like in Mortal Kombat X. It's still fun with the addition of the different abilities that you get as you play. Raiden is a badass in this game. It's so fun. I kept thinking, am I going to enjoy him? Raiden wasn't really one of my better characters. I did enjoy playing as him back then, but I was always more for Johnny Cage and all that. But playing this, hell yeah, Raiden just fits into the world so well. Now, the thing is, though, with every character they bring in, there's always the different dialogues that happen between everybody. And I think my favorite one is what I actually talked about with Sub-Zero in my last discussion of this type of video, because I feel like NetherRealm is trying to set up Mortal Kombat versus DCU again, but this time it's going to be Mortal Kombat versus Injustice, because Injustice is his own brand at this point. I mean, it's still DC owned, but I mean, in the Injustice name, the Injustice universe itself has gotten so big now. I mean, the fact that the comics of Injustice are still going, it wouldn't surprise me if they did a crossover series to kind of bring both games together, because all they're doing is giving us a taste of, like, when Scorpion was in the first Injustice and Sub-Zero and Raiden are in the second one, and we're just seeing more and more how they're blending characters, and it feels like they're beta testing these guys out, letting us know that they're in good hands. We could enjoy the games like this. I mean, if they add fatalities to a versus game like that, make it a little bit more extreme and than what Mortal Kombat vs. DCU did, because I did talk about this in my previous video as well, where the fatalities in Mortal Kombat X didn't feel as bad as they were in 9, because 9, oh my god, it was just gory, gory, gory stuff. Now, they did start to go up the gore factor when they brought in characters like Leatherface and Baraicho, oh, and Triborg. I think those three of the DLC were the most violent, because I mean, when you look at Predator, you look at Jason, they seem the most tame, because you would expect Jason to fully gut somebody or crush their head or something. You don't really get that. The brutalities are much more prominent with Jason or Alien and all that, but not really so much with like Baraicho, Triborg, and Leatherface, because Leatherface, oh, the guts and everything, it's just amazing how well they did that. On another note, though, just I feel like that they are trying to set us up a lot easier. I mean, as I explained, the gaming environment has changed so much since Mortal Kombat vs. DCU. I mean, mature games are, I don't know, they're evolving in such a way that we can be more accepting on a lot of things. I mean, I know that nobody really wants to see their DC characters killed, but Injustice is a separate universe from the main continuity. So they're setting up these characters to be different from them. We're seeing Robin slice Victor Zsasz' throat. We see Superman burning a hole through Shazam's head. I mean, there's so many things that they can do now. But the one thing that really sets it apart is the bit of dialogue that I'm gonna show you, which, to me, it sets up the Injustice world, like Mortal Kombat versus Injustice, perfectly, which is dialogue between Sub-Zero and Raiden. Check it out.
It is possible that Dark Khan returns.
That would explain our arrival in this realm.
We must prepare ourselves for combat.
We are stranded in this realm, Raiden.
I believe our combat brought us here.
Then perhaps combat will take us home.
Okay, so it was two dialogues, but the first one to me was the more prominent of the two. The second one was more or less just reaffirming what Sub-Zero explained in his ending and Raiden's ending as well. Both of them having come to the DCU under different points of time, whereas Sub-Zero showed up after his battle with Kotal Khan's forces. Whatever Raiden did to the Jinsei apparently affected the whole the fabric of reality or whatever, and teleported him to the DCU as well. Although I was expecting corrupted Raiden, they kind of gave us a bit of a glimpse of that in his ending, but not as much of what it looks like in Mortal Kombat X. But the one thing that I thought was cool about that ending, though, was the fact that he unites, or that he teams up with Justice League Dark. But the thing is that is NetherRealm actually gearing up for a Mortal Kombat versus Injustice game in the future? Personally, I think that would be cool. I would like to see another Mortal Kombat before they do that, because, I mean, there's still so much that they can do. But if not, I mean, at least we'll see, like, this whole shared universe thing now. I mean, because they're showing them to be somewhat canon, and I mean, it would be cool if they actually did blend the worlds. I mean, they're both owned by Warner Brothers at this point, so why not have this happen? I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom coming out was a huge disappointment, and I mean, I would like to see NetherRealm do another Versus type series, but bringing the DC characters and the Mortal Kombat characters back once again for a follow-up. I mean, I don't know how much of a follow-up it will be, because with the way the DCU always seems to restart its universes and whatnot, I mean, none of the characters really remember everybody. I mean, there was the encounter with Superman and Raiden in Mortal Kombat vs. DCU, and that they actually bring it up a couple of times in some of their intro dialogues, which I think is pretty nice. Same thing with, like I said, Catwoman and Sub-Zero. They remember each other, as well as the Flash will remember on one conversation, but he'll completely just not even know who Sub-Zero is in others. So I think that's what also makes that pretty interesting. I mean, they might actually make the Flash somewhat connected to this whole thing. Who knows? But like I said, guys, this is just what I'm thinking right now. I mean, if they do this, awesome. I can't wait to see what NetherRealm does next. I can't wait to play as Hellboy down the road. And the final three characters, they did show the Adams trailer, which was pretty sweet. Anyway, take care. Like, share, and subscribe if you'd like. And let me know what you think. Is NetherRealm actually going to be doing making a comeback, but doing Mortal Kombat versus Injustice? Let us know. Take care.